Now that I've been answering the telephone, I have came across people with the craziest problems. I'm talking about issues I have never even heard of. Luckily for me though, I hang around the old folk, aka Dorinda, Shauna, and Dad, so I've picked up on their tricks. I think it's only fair that I share with you all. I'm talking about Brite Tone on painted canvases. Usually people call and they say, well, I applied my Brite Tone to this acrylic painting, and the next day I came back to apply another coat and there's crackling and orange peel. Well, I'll tell you 3 issues that it probably is. Number 1, your coats are probably way too thick. You can't apply products like epoxy. You have to do coats no thicker than 2 sheets of paper. If you do your coats thicker, then you need to let it dry longer. Number 2, you need to let your coats dry for 4 hours. If you don't, then it's going to cause orange peel. You're just going to keep on applying coats on top of wet coats, and it's never going to dry. It's never going to fully dry. Number 3 would be that your acrylic paint hasn't cured fully. It can take 3 to 4 weeks for that acrylic paint to fully cure, so you need to make sure that's set long enough before you do go apply Brite Tone to it. Our Brite Tone was manufactured and made for musical instruments, but as we know, it has got word of mouth out to the tumbler world and now out to painting world. And so before you start giving up, if you start having issues, just feel free to reach out. I'll put my email down, all my social medias, the office phone number. Just feel free to ask if you do start having issues. Don't give up. Now that I've got that all said and all out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to properly apply Brite Tone, not to a canvas, but to a test sheet. So let's get started. Alright, so as you can see, I got my Brite Tone open. Well, I got this little knife. I've been having this sitting for a while, so I'm going to stir it up. Need to, probably the product have been sitting, so just stir it up some. Quick tip, you don't have to use a plastic knife. If you saw Dad's video earlier, he used the daggone butter knife. So you can still use that knife. You can use your fingers to stir it up if you want to. Just rinse them off. I mean, you could still eat off that knife, and you can still pick your nose, and you can still eat your fingernails or whatever you do. It ain't gonna hurt you, it won't. But this is also a reminder to go watch Dad's video, but it's a quick tip too. So as you can see, I'm really not gonna do anything fancy. I'm just gonna dip my brush. That was probably way too much, honestly way too much, so I'm gonna let it drip. I'm not going to scrape because scraping can cause bubbles. That will make bubbles appear. So just let it drip until it doesn't want to drip no more, and then just apply. Do long light strokes. Don't overwork the product. That will and can cause issues. It should take no longer than 60 seconds to apply this stuff. You might see bubbles and lines, but that will level out on its own. Okay, now I have added in some of our concentrated pigments in with Brite Tone. You see how little there is in here. I'm just gonna dip a little on my brush, and I'm telling you guys, this is all you need right here. And just very thin. Do it very, very thin. That's all you got to ignore all of her hair, but that is honestly all you got to do, guys. And those lines and bubbles that you see when you first apply, they will level on their own for sure. I also wanted to show you guys real quick before I quit editing my video, just a few seconds that I was editing my video. Look how much it has leveled out. Ignore the Oliver hair, but it has leveled out in just seconds. So if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to ask, and I'd love to help. Thank you all.